Today on Vallo Vision News, Viva Las Vallo, how students got a taste of Vegas here on campus to help them unwind before the semester.
And Giving Tuesday is almost here, how an anonymous donor is pledging to make a big impact on campus.
Plus, November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and experts say that millions of Americans could be living with the condition and not even know it. Find out what symptoms to watch out for that could save your life or someone you love. Vallo Vision News starts right now. Hello, and welcome to Vallo Vision News. I'm Isaiah Wilson.
And I'm Taylor Walker. Thanks so much for watching. Last night, the Montevallo University Program Council put on their annual Vegas in Vallo event.
Vallo Vision News reporter Hollie was there and joins us in the studio with more.
Thanks, Isaiah. UPC hosted their annual Vegas in Vallo on Tuesday. The event was in the Anna Irvin Dining Hall. It gave students the opportunity to relax and play games before holiday break and finals. Although the event was set up to look like a Vegas casino, the students were not actually gambling. Instead of cash, students were able to win tickets that they could redeem for prizes. Some of the prizes included gift cards and merch from the university and local businesses. Back to you, Isaiah.
Thanks, Hollie. It's a big week for the College of Fine Arts.
First up, UM's production of The Cabaret debuts Thursday. In the 1920s, Story takes the audience through the gritty, intoxicating, and chaotic lives of Berlin's locals and foreigners with adult content. Tickets are $15 for faculty, staff, and senior citizens, and $10 for students. Cabaret debuts on November 21st and runs through the 24th. Showtimes are on your screen. And the Opera Ensemble performs this Friday and Saturday in the LeBaron Recital Hall in the Davis Music Building. Performances start at 7 p.m. Scenes were directed by Dr. Charles Wood with Dr. Lori Middow as the piano accompanist. Admission is free to everybody.
UM's annual Giving Tuesday is right around the corner. Giving Tuesday will be December 3rd and offers an opportunity to help donate and make a meaningful impact on the campus community. One anonymous donor will match every donation up to $5,000. The match donation will be going to the Student Financial Emergency Fund. It's time to share your feedback through course evaluations. You are able to access the surveys through an email sent to your inbox. Course evaluations are your chance to let professors know what did or did not work in their courses. These evaluations are anonymous, and faculty will not have access to the result until after grades have been submitted. The evaluations are due on Friday, December 6th.
Remember, there's always more news 24/7 on our social media pages. Just search for Vallo Vision News on Instagram, Facebook, and X. Still ahead on Vallo Vision News, America is on the track to set yet another traveling record during Thanksgiving week. We will break down the numbers.
Plus, more Americans are turning to news influencers on social media. Why experts say it could lead to the spread of misinformation. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Vallo Vision News. A record number of Americans could be on the move this Thanksgiving. AAA expects nearly 80 million people will travel at least 50 miles over the holiday week. That's 1.7 million more travelers than last year. Most people will be arriving at their destination by car. For those driving, expect roads to be most crowded the Tuesday and Wednesday before Thanksgiving and the Sunday and Monday after. Nearly 6 million people will be traveling by plane. The busiest day will most likely be Sunday, December 1st.
Turning to health headlines, November is National Diabetes Month. The CDC estimates more than 38 million Americans of all ages have diabetes, and experts say millions of people who have it are undiagnosed. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither explains what to know about this disease and why early detection is critical.
It's a chronic disease when a person's blood sugar is too high. Diabetes is common, but many don't know they have it.
For a long time, diabetes, hypertension were both known as what are called silent diseases, meaning they are affecting your body and causing long-term damage before you start to have a lot of physical symptoms.
Dr. Brent Smith with the American Academy of Family Physicians says that's why early detection and intervention is critical to slow or even prevent diabetes progression. So he says to be aware of the red flags.
It's increased thirst and increased urination. So when you're a diabetic and you have this extra sugar floating around in your system, your body tends to get rid of it through your urine.
In addition to increased thirst and urination, Smith says to also watch out for signs like sluggishness, general malaise, or not feeling like yourself. But he says before symptoms start, it's important to see a doctor to be screened and evaluated for diabetes risk.
We would all be a lot happier treating and preventing it than we would be dealing with the consequences of uncontrolled diabetes or other medical conditions.
Smith says managing your weight can reduce risk of type 2 diabetes. Do that by having a healthy diet, cutting out simple sugars as much as possible, and regular exercise.
And the recommendation for exercise is a total of 150 minutes over the course of the week, which breaks down to about 30 minutes of a brisk walk or cardiovascular exercise 5 days a week.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. Smith says weight loss drugs are becoming incredibly popular and are very effective as a diabetic drug and for weight loss. But he says anyone with diabetes, the best thing that can be done is losing weight by whatever means is sustainable and healthy for you. The American Diabetes Association has more information about this condition at diabetes.org. A new study has another reason you should avoid sitting too much. Researchers looked at data nearly 90,000 people wearing an accelerometer. They compared the sedentary and active time with diagnosis of conditions like stroke, heart attack, and heart failure. In later years, more sedentary time was associated with a greater risk for cardiovascular disease. Even getting a good workout in at the end of the day didn't necessarily undo long bouts of sitting. According to the study, as for now, how much is too much sitting? The study found the general guidelines was more than 10.6 hours a day.
In other news, around a fifth of Americans get their news from influencers on social media. That's according to a new study by the Pew Research Center. And no surprise here, it is even more common among younger adults. Nearly 40% of adults under the age of 30 say they get their news from independent social media figures. Experts say this is problematic because it makes it easier for misinformation to spread because these influencers may not hold themselves to journalistic standards. The biggest platform for news influencers is X, formerly Twitter, followed by Instagram and then YouTube. It's been nearly 3 years since iconic entertainer Betty White died, just weeks shy of turning 100 years old.
And now the U.S. Postal Service will honor her with a postal stamp next year. The art director for the Postal Service designed the stamp. It is based off of a photograph taken of White in 2010. Besides the Betty White stamp, the Postal Service announced Friday it will roll out a number of new stamps in 2025.
Finally today, a major comeback is underway at Yosemite National Park, and it involves the Sierra Nevada yellow-legged frog. The frogs are an important part of the ecosystem at the park, but are currently listed as endangered. Their population was nearly wiped out by a fungal disease. Some of the populations were able to recover. Researchers monitored the frogs over a 17-year span and found the population was once again thriving. The biologists say the frogs now have a high chance of persisting over the next 50 years.
Remember, there's always more news from our team of reporters on our website, vallovisionnews.com. That's all the time we have for the show today.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in to Vallo Vision News again next week.